The following program is for mature audiences only. None of the information provided is intended to be medical or any other professional advice requiring licensing through any regulatory agency. It is for entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, I'm Amy Satori. I'm an intuitive spiritual counselor assisting in raising the vibration of our planet. I was born with extraordinary gifts, experienced enlightenment for 6 months years ago, speak light language, and channel a being called Celeste, who is an ambassador for a galactic council of 60. I am able to scan your energy field for emotional blockages and talk to or aid in the healing of your organs using Qigong energy healing. I can also help you make decisions, talk to your pets, deceased loved ones, and your friends and family's higher selves. I can help you navigate your relationships and answer pressing questions in your life by talking with the unseen world. I use these skills I've developed to translate the images, feelings, impressions, and messages I'm given while tuning into you and your situation. I work Thursday through Saturday as a psychic for the Lighthouse Bookstore downtown Boulder, Colorado, and conduct remote readings all over the world. You can order a private reading from my website at amysatori.com. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow me here on Podbean, Instagram, my 1111 Twin Flame Forum on Facebook, and YouTube. Set a reminder in your phone to call live on the show any Sunday, 5:30 Pacific, 6:30 Mountain, 7:30 Central, or 8:30 Eastern, to ask me a question, receive a blessing, or have me do some energy work on you. So, my friends, without further ado, let's get to today's show. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to and watching the Satori Show. I've been kind of spotty lately. All my summer fun came toward the end of summer, and then I had a big move. So I am here now, and we should get more consistent hunkering down for the winter coming up here. So thank you for bearing with me and being patient. I just wanted to let you guys know some things. Just normal business stuff. Extended reading. Somebody asked me. So I went out with this gal today. It was really cute because I've been getting all these, everybody's been acting like I'm some celebrity already. It's so funny. And a friend of mine, we went out for dinner. She took me out for dinner the other night, and as you guys saw on Instagram, that was real fun. And we were doing a celebratory dinner for a number of things, but one of them being that I'm going to have a spot on a radio show coming up on TuneIn Radio. And that's going to be toward the end of November. You guys will get details about that later. But we were celebrating and having a great time. And she pulls the waitress aside, "Do you know who this is? Do you have any idea who this woman is?" She starts going on, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. And then I was walking back to my car, and I had to go pee. And I was parked right outside of a bar, as it would turn out. I went into that bar, and I went straight. This bodyguard stops me, and he's just like, "I want to see your ID." And I said, "I just gotta pee." And he said, he just smirked, and he said, "Just go." So I go to the back, and there's a girl in line, and she's squirming around like me. And Bohemian Rhapsody was as somebody who's doing karaoke to Bohemian Rhapsody. And she and I just started belting out this tune and dancing and having so much fun. And we were just really, just having a really good time belting out the tune. And then the door opens, and these two girls come out. And we looked at each other like, what? And then she goes to go in the bathroom, and she goes, "Want to come with?" I said, "Okay." So we go in the bathroom, and, she does her business. I do my business. And then she's like, "Have you been having a good night?" I was like, "Well, yeah." I said, "But this has, been really fun, one of the funnest parts of tonight." And she says, I said, "Yeah, I was having a celebration dinner with a friend." And then she asked more about it. And then she looks me up on Instagram. She, "Oh my God, you're a celebrity. You're peeing right in front of me, and you're a celebrity." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." And so we go out of there, and then she goes running up to all of her friends, and I was just like, oh, this is going to be like a great story someday when I do become a big deal, which I do think something's going to happen for me later. But it was just so funny. And then this gal that I went to do a clearing for on her home, I don't know how many months ago, it was a while ago, I noticed that she had this really cool hot pink file cabinet. And I just like fell in love with it. Looked at it, I was like, wow, that is a cool file cabinet. And she's like, yeah, I know. Like, don't touch it, like, that's my file cabinet. She goes, yeah, I love it too. And I was like, okay, all right, And so months go by, and she, sends me a message. Thank you so much for the clearing. There's been such a difference in my home. It's been incredible. And so she said all that. And then a little while later, she's like, okay, you can have the file cabinet. If you want the file cabinet, you can come out here and you can get it. I'll just give it to you. I'll give it to you for free. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so sweet. And I said, no, I'll take you out to lunch. I'll take you out to lunch to thank you, So then we're at lunch, and she's just like, I can't believe I'm having lunch with Amy Satori. I was just going, oh my gosh, this is so funny. Why is everybody doing this? I'm like the most unknown celebrity around, right? Anyway, so she's like, oh, what did she do? Something about, where was I going with this? I started off telling you guys something. Oh, she says, I really want to look at your extended readings, but where are they? I can never find them. And so then I explained it to her. She goes, you better explain that to everybody because I don't think people know. And so I said, all right, I'll explain on the show tonight. So what the extended readings are is basically, how I do my my collective love readings once a week. Underneath those videos, and only those videos, the ones with the little smiley face that have the hearts and the eyes, I've been trying to code all the different types of videos with different emojis. So the ones with the hearts and the eyes, those are the collective readings. And then underneath that video is called an extended reading. And there's a link that says, it's like the first link you'll see underneath the video. You might have to click the little arrow to the side on the right to make it expand out. But it says, get the $11 extended reading here. And then you click on the link, and then it takes you to like my Vimeo channel. And when you get to the Vimeo channel, there's a big long list of videos that I've, like extended readings that I've done. And what I do is I make the main reading, the main collective reading. And if it resonates with you, I go further into depth into another reading it's usually just as long, sometimes a little bit longer even. And I pull oracle cards, I do a channeling, I do light language blessing, and all of that. I mean, usually a light language blessing in itself is $44. So it's quite a bargain. And if it resonates with you, it's really cool because you get all this additional information, even about your career and about all this other stuff that I don't talk about in the, in the love reading. So, it just helps you prepare and get ready for whatever energies are in the main reading. Anyway, so that's how you find those. They're just right underneath the video on the link. And also remember, you can save those videos. Some people were saying, well, once I watch it, it's gone. And so there is an app, a free app called Any Video Converter. And you just download that, have it on your computer, and then when you watch the video, you copy the link in Vimeo, and then you put it in Any Video Converter, and you can save it to your computer and keep it forever. Also, the list in Vimeo is like, just look for the dates of the video that you're like trying to correlate it to, because that's what I go by. Sometimes I forget to like copy the title and put it over in Vimeo, but just look for the dates. The dates are always consistent and the same across the board. Okay, let me think if there's something else about the Vimeo thing. No, it's usually like the most recent ones are down at the bottom. So you might even have to click a little thing that says, there are 5 more videos, and just click that. Just keep going down as far as you can, and then click on the one that correlates. You could always watch some of the old videos too. Some of them, and here's the thing about those videos too. If they don't resonate right now, only certain parts, or you're just like, I wonder, they might just resonate later. And I have so many people report back that they go back and watch something from like a month ago or a couple weeks ago, and they're amazed at everything that happened in the video that they didn't even notice the first time they watched it. I know I make a lot of videos, but you'll be surprised if you just feel into which one, that you want to go back to and that you kind of felt was kind of special to you at a certain point. Watch it again, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, totally, Okay. So also right now I have a semi-short wait on remote readings. I do remote readings all over the world, so it doesn't matter where you're located. What we do is we usually get on Zoom. If you don't have Zoom or can't use Zoom for whatever reason, we've got Skype as a backup. It's not as good. The video isn't as good that I've discovered. But Zoom is always awesome, and I just email you a link a few minutes beforehand, just probably 5 minutes beforehand, and then you just click on that link and we connect on video, and it gets recorded in video, but I send you the audio, not the video afterwards. Also, if we end up doing a remote reading over the phone, I record that as well over the phone. And then as soon as we're done, or by the end of the day, usually I will send you that recording. So if you haven't gotten the phone recording by the end of the day, remind me as quick as possible. Let me know that you didn't receive that so that I can send it to you right away. Otherwise, I have a bunch of them I have to go through, and they're listed by time. So it's kind of hard to find you. You can get lost in the shuffle, so I have to go look at my calendar and see what time you had your appointment and then try to figure out which one was you and that kind of thing. So the quicker the better you can tell me that you're missing something. Also, let's see. I kind of talked about the TuneIn Radio segments, but I'm going to start, I think, November 25th at 1:30 Mountain Time. So that's 3:30 Eastern Time. I'm going to be doing like a little half an hour show once a week for a little while, into the probably close to about Valentine's Day-ish. So, and I'm going to be looking for sponsorship. If you know anybody who'd be interested in sponsoring the show, then definitely have them tune in while I'm doing those segments on TuneIn Radio. And I'll give you details later. Obviously, I'll give you links and stuff. Okay. So what else? I guess that was it. Let me take a pause for a second. I don't know how they rate these things or how many people listen in, but the last segment that I did for the last show that had me on, so that I did really well. They said out of 10 stars, or a rating of 1 to 10, I got a 9.2. Which is not very common. So they said that they're sure I'm going to do really great in these segments coming up. So, yay! And just like I've been predicting in those collective readings, a lot of the feminines are really taking off right now. I'm talking to all of you and hearing all of your stories, and it's very inspiring. If this isn't happening to you yet, if your career isn't totally going somewhere, and if you're not just feeling like, holy crap, I got on the fast train somehow, what's going on, if you're not feeling a little bit mystified by the things you've been manifesting, then keep it up, and look for evidence of it in your friends, and don't be jealous, because jealousy will push it away from you. Being happy for other people who are doing really great actually draws it to you, and you can just soak it all in as if it's yourself, and say, ooh, the fact that I'm hearing about it around me and seeing it around me and my friends and my family or whoever you see it in, be like, yes, that means it's that much closer for me. There's also a really good video on, if you're not on my Instagram, you need to be, if you're on Instagram, because there's really cool things that I post. Like if I watch a TED Talk and it's particularly awesome, I will post it on there for you guys. There was one about jealousy. Oh my gosh, that is such a great talk. And it's not just about jealousy. It's almost like everybody on the planet needs to watch that video. It's about reminds me of a post I just put on Instagram just a little bit ago. What should I show you? It says, this is a Divine Feminine. My energy has shifted since the craziness I was feeling a couple days ago. I am calmer, more grounded, ready to find my own place in the world and not assume he's coming toward me because really, who knows, haha. Trying to anticipate him is too distracting. I literally have a blank slate in front of me now. I've been single for months, closed my business, and I'm looking for what's next. I feel so empowered in the not knowing and the clean slate that it's boggling my mind. That's where we all want to be, you guys. I had a couple of the most incredible readings I've had in a really long time over the weekend. Oh, and by the way, I'm getting really, really booked up at the Lighthouse. Like, I'll get there and almost my whole clipboard is full. So I'm going to leave the phone number for the Lighthouse Bookstore in the description of this video when it comes out on YouTube for you guys. If you're thinking to come and see me, definitely call the Lighthouse beforehand, even if it's weeks in advance, and they will schedule you a time in. Otherwise, you might be disappointed because you show up last minute as a walk-in and your time is taken. So yeah, I'll leave that phone number down below. But I was going to say something. Oh yeah, the incredible reading. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's this guy. His name is Steele, and he's going to be coming on. I'm going to record a conversation with him tomorrow about his awakening experience. You guys, it's amazing. It was mind blowing. He's never even been to Boulder before, and he just felt really drawn to come see me, and he didn't know why. And I get that a lot. And it's always really cool to find out, like, oh, okay, wow, that was big, afterwards, like, that's why you were drawn here. That's so cool. So, and he sat down before me, and he starts describing what he's been going through, and I just kind of smiled, and I said, I know what you're going through. This is an awakening. This is, like, enlightenment. And he was just like, his eyes just popped out. You know what this is? Like, oh, my gosh. And he was so excited to talk to somebody who understood because I've been there before. So if you guys haven't heard that talk, I think it's called, I've done a talk on my experience, a couple of talks on my experience, but you can look up, just put in Amy Satori, and I think it's like supernatural experiences. And you can listen to that talk, and I ended up sending it to him to take a look at too. But we're going to be talking tomorrow. If you guys want to keep an eye out for that video, it should be incredible. And for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I also interviewed a jeweler, someone who made her own jewelry, and now she's totally all over Vogue magazine, Vanity Fair, and all of that. Dana Bush. She's got a great Instagram, and the talk with her is pretty cool. If you guys are thinking of doing something creative that could explode for you, this is time to get on your path, you guys. This is time to embrace what it is you feel passionate about and what you love to do, because the universe is supporting you and just flying right now. All right, so let's get to some calls. Hello?
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hello. My name is Adriana. I was actually talking to you right now through Instagram.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
Yeah, you asked if there was a special app or if you just call the number, and I said, call the number.
Yeah.
Did that work?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay, good.
Totally. I was right on time, too. I was like, oh, wait, I have to call. Yeah.
Yay. How can I help you?
So great to hear you. Yeah, I wanted to know, what is the current energy between me and my divine masculine?
Okay. Hang on a minute.
Okay.
He feels like he's about to ask a girl to dance. He looks a little bit nervous. I see him like going forward, stepping back, going forward, stepping back. I see the word regret. I feel like there are just some things he doesn't know how to explain to you that he's done, and he is just a little embarrassed and trying to come up with the right words. And while he's not coming up with the right words, he's just kind of scooting around. And I do feel he's definitely watching you.
Me too. That's great.
I've been hearing these funny reports. One of my divine feminines was like driving around, and she looked in the rearview mirror and she thought she saw his truck, and then she looks closer. She goes, "Yeah, that's his bumper sticker." And then she went, yeah. Then she went one direction. He went the other direction. He pulled alongside of the road and waited to see where she was going, and she was laughing because she was like, "I can see you. Like, you don't think I know."
Wow.
So yeah, they're being sneaky peekers right now. So, and that's not the only report. I just think that's really funny, a funny one though. What was that?
Yeah, I feel like he's watching me through social media.
Oh yeah. Oh, they do that. They definitely do that. It's smart, really. If you think about it, if you're scared to talk to the person or if you're just trying to gather more information, it's the perfect way to do that, You can spy and nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, that's true.
That's their biggest fear. They're afraid that that the special thing that they have with you is going to end up like everything else.
Yeah.
So they're looking for any way that you might be different or any way that they might feel safe in their approach or maybe some of your favorite things so that when they approach you, they might be able to, I don't know, they're just getting to know you without any risk that way. So it's harmless. I mean, of course,
because
well, some people are stalkers. Obviously, you're always going to get those. But, when it comes to your divine masculine, I mean, he's your man. He can peek all he wants.
Gosh, I just, I see his initials everywhere, Amy. Like, every time that I'm, doubting it, there he is, his name, initials, a song. I feel like it's, to me,
I was on my way to lunch, and my friend, or a client of mine, but a friend too now. She and I were driving to this place that we were going to go, and it was such a great place too. But anyway, we're driving there, and I swear to God, probably in that short amount of time from her place to where we were going, I heard my twin flame's name. Now he's not necessarily the one, but I heard his name 6 or 7 times. And then at the restaurant too. And then all these numbers, and I just was ignoring as much as I could. And then when I heard it the millionth time, I was just shaking my head. And she's like, "What?" I was like, "You've said his name, or his name has been said a million times around me right now." And I just get as much as I am so used to it. I mean, I get inundated 24/7 about this stuff. Numbers and all the it's I've got a number of masculines right now, so I get signs and synchronicities on all of them. Can you guys imagine? Yeah. Some of you only have one.
Yeah, and then you have
by saying no to one and then seeing other things come through, and you're just but I mean, that's why I'm doing some of these talks too on some of you who are in the same position, trying to be wise, making a decision on who is truly best for you, because you really do want to make a good, solid decision on who that is. So I'm paying attention to all the things that I'm seeing, but when it comes to my twin, I'm just
Yeah. Do you feel like
whatever.
he will make, do you feel like we will have union, and do you think, because I know there's free will, do you think he will be good for me, because he's with a karmic partner?
I got to warn you guys about something that's been happening too. Oh my God, I don't want to even say this, but I got to say it because when I see these patterns, it's some of them are being really tested, and what's happening is they are breaking up with their karmics, but then there's somebody else from their past or somebody that they've had feelings about for a while now too, in addition to you, that you did not know about all this time, that they then get tested. It's another karmic person. Well, I'm warning everybody right now because there are a lot of people listening. My God. But I'm not saying that's your guy, but the fact that I'm mentioning it when you're asking that could be kind of a clue, but it's they feel this liberation, but then they also don't feel quite ready for you. So they go through this weird limbo thing where they're back and forth with you, kind of dipping their toe in the water, yet they're also considering this other option, and they're trying to feel out which one is healthiest for them. But some of them are doing, some of them, when I'm feeling into them and what the hell they're doing, it's they're so scared still. They're so scared. It's they really, really want their feminine. That's the one that they truly want. And I've had these heart-to-hearts with them. But they go after the karmic because it's easier and safer.
Easier.
Yeah. And
they're very tricky and manipulative. So they suck them in, they seduce them, and they keep them, or they do their best. There are some karmics also, I should warn you guys, that are trying to keep their stuff in their masculine's place. And they're like trying to like make the breakup go really slow so they can try to get in again and try to, and I'm like, if you're masculine listening to this, put her stuff out somewhere public and be like, you can go pick it up. It'll be there till somebody comes and picks it up and goes and takes it into their own house because it's for free out on the curb. Do not let her do that. Don't let her manipulate like that.
Or like pregnant.
Okay, so your guy. Okay. I'm getting away from doing these types of predictions and things on this show because if you get a personal reading, we can really explore it a lot further and go into a lot more detail. Okay. And also because people get sick and tired of hearing everybody else's story and it sounds the same and it's like, when's he coming, when's he coming, when's he coming? But I do feel like you guys will come together. I just feel like he has a little bit more growing up to do but I also feel him clinging to you at the same time. I think he would have a heart attack if you started dating or something. I honestly do.
Yeah.
He would really panic, which kind of tells you something too, right? If you like someone and if they started dating, you would freak out, then that's something you got to make a move on and quick, quit dilly-dallying and pussyfooting around with whatever you're doing now. Grow some balls and, take the reins and make it happen.
Someone.
What?
Yeah, the universe sent me a guy, and I was like, oh my God, I totally went for it because I knew it was the universe, And,
yeah.
But it didn't work out, Amy. I was just like, no, I couldn't do it. I was dating another guy.
Okay. Did you post about it?
No, I should have.
No, that's good. That's good. I mean, it can backfire too. It can backfire, but you just want to be honest. And it's like if you guys would have gotten serious, then obviously you're going to be posting pictures. But you got to be true to your heart and not settle. I mean, I don't like anybody waiting around for their masculine. Just because that waiting energy is just strong energy to be in.
Yeah.
But,
do you feel like he's going to have more kids with his karmic partner? Like, do you see a pregnancy there or anything?
No.
Like,
No.
Okay, good.
He's adamant about that. She wants more. He doesn't.
With her?
No.
Do you see, like, us?
When that subject comes up, I see him, like, running away from her, sometimes literally.
Okay,
A lot of our masculines also, by the way, are not having sex with their karmics. If they're still with them, most of them have left already. Thank God. Most of them have left. Most of the reports I'm hearing right now are they're gone, but they're being wishy-washy and coming together though. So, if they love themselves, they'll make the right decision. They'll go with you.
Okay. So do you think I'm on track? Like something that I should work on? Like, what do you think? That's
a good question. That's a really good question. Yeah. Okay, hang on.
Some guidance for us, because we always think about them, but how about us?
Exactly. I feel like for you, there's something you need to be writing that you've been putting off. I feel like you need to get to writing it.
Writing?
It's either writing or studying, but I see you with an open book, and you're writing something down. Okay. I don't know if it's like a book you're putting off or something your class you meant to take or something like that, but
I'm like journaling a lot.
Okay. So use that. Okay. Feels like also I see dancing. I see like a movement. They're also saying move. There's something with movement with you. So if you have like a movement therapy class or like ecstatic dance class or something like that you could take, that would be good for getting some energies moving.
I've been thinking about Zumba a lot.
There you go. Okay. Because you have some pent up energy you need to get out. It's almost like a trampoline would be good too. So there might be something going on with your lymph glands or something like that. So bouncing. Bouncing.
Bouncing. Okay.
Yeah. And think in terms of like when you're bouncing, think of like throwing it off of you. All the negative energy, the frustration, the impatience, all of that. Like, and try to just, all of you, try to just stay in the moment and stay out of wondering too much. You know, go back, look at that latest Instagram I just posted about, you know, that feminine who's just like, I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm just going to embrace my life and just go, you know, go after this exciting new, I mean, so many feminines right now have a total clean slate, and it's just like time to reinvent yourself, you know, time to be whatever you want. And do not.
I was so
well, do not.
Like you posted that, and I was like, I feel like that I felt that way this morning, you know, like clear energy.
Yes. That's where you want to be. And don't make plans according to him either. You know, don't sit there and say, well, I'm going to move to his state, or I'm going to move here, unless we've done a custom reading and I have felt into that situation, and that seems like the right thing to do. Generally speaking, like, only make a move like that when it's like, if you're doing it, if you would be all right with things not working out with him and you've made that decision just based on that you just really felt prompted to do so. You've really felt pulled to do it. Mm-hmm. And also, you guys, here's another thing. Some of you are not being direct enough. Like, some of you, if your masculine is being wishy-washy about you or someone else or doing stuff like that, make it known how you feel about him. You know, we sit there and talk about how the masculines need to let us know how they feel. But you also have to reciprocate that. So if you are like, you know, if he's saying like, gosh, it sure would be nice to spend more time with you or something like that, and you're like, hody hum, yeah, that, you know, you need to be like, yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to do that. We should make that happen. You know, like be more direct. Be more direct with them, because a lot of these masculines are still pretty insecure in some ways, and they can't read between the lines. They don't know if you're just being nice, you know, or whatever. And they don't know what we know. They don't know that they're our twin flame or our soulmate or, you know, some kind of true love counterpart. They don't know. They're just thinking you're somebody that they feel really drawn to. Huh?
Oh, okay. I was like, is he aware, or does he just feel like drawn to me, you know? I'm like, I always think about that. Do they actually know?
They do. A lot of times they do. And they do research too. They get curious too. Like, what the hell is this stuff? What am I feeling? Why do I see signs and synchronicities? Why am I dreaming of her? Why did she contact me? Like, all of that. Like, you know, they'll be like they're just like us. They're humans. They get curious. Some of them are even studying tarot cards, and they're studying, you know, they're looking into all kinds of cool stuff that we know about. Ooh. You know, they're using their intuition, they're meditating, they're doing some cool stuff. So yeah, a lot of them know a lot more than you think that they would. But it's not important that they do either. You know, not until you guys actually feel like you can sit down and have that conversation to where, you know, it's usually at a point where both of you are like, wow, this is like really incredible. This is so intense. I don't even know what to do right now. This is crazy, and you're shaking your heads. That's probably the time to say it. When you're both acknowledging that it's pretty out of this world.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that day.
Yeah, that's always exciting when you can reciprocate back and forth.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go because I got a lot more callers. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be good. You just need to be patient and just focus on yourself. Just, typical separation stuff.
Do you think I'll have kids with him? Do you see that?
I feel like you're going to have at least one, maybe two.
With him? Okay, good.
You want to know the sex?
Oh, okay, yeah, sex.
It would be a boy first and a girl second.
Wow. I knew it. Okay.
That's the thing, too, about these readings. So many times, like, the feminines actually already knew what I told them, which is cool, you know? Yeah. We know, but sometimes we need the confirmation.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I kept feeling like a boy. You know how I think you said that, like, they, like, we could feel sometimes our future children. I think I heard, right? I felt like a boy. Yeah, like, I don't know. Someone told me that, and I was like, oh, I kept feeling like a boy's presence or something in the future.
Uh-huh. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Thank you, Amy.
All right. You're welcome. Go change that battery in your alarm so that you can be warned of smoke or a fire.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, my lymph nodes, like, is it anything more serious or?
No, you need some detoxing and purification. Okay. And then you just need to just get the stuff out of you.
Okay.
Let me do a clearing for you and everybody listening.
Oh my God.
We'll just do
Okay, let me go. Can I go with my dad right now? Because I wanted to know, is it okay that, because I was like, since I've been on this journey, I've always lived by myself, but my dad just moved in 2 weeks ago. And it was kind of like, I was kind of scared, in a way.
You were scared of your dad moving in?
Not just like the energy shift in me, since I'm like sensitive,
Well, just hold the intention that you keep your energy to yourself, that everybody's energy is separate. Seal off your room so that it's your like sanctuary, so that it, so you don't let anybody's energy in there.
Okay.
Are you ready for the blessing?
Yes.
Okay. So this is okay. Everybody,
listen.
Just what?
Okay. Oh, I have my dad here next to me. Sorry.
Okay. So everybody, just relax. Drop your shoulders. Take a deep breath. This is going to sound funny if you hadn't heard it before. This is called light language, and it's a channeled energy that follows your intention. It's got a kind of a mind of its own. But it's definitely very helpful and healing. So hang on just a moment. Haimo kon salakesha sensela hele imo kona hashikin sanse ke shoki insapola riki insan sansela aisha hemo komponsa halakitina takiesha Asensela ke momo kesa shikitsana nai halakitina tsansa lakiita napo asensela kila.
Whoa. How did you feel that? Good. Me too. I felt like something dark just went away. Like, in my mind, something dark flew away.
Yeah, they don't like it. Darkness doesn't like the light language at all.
Oh my God, Amy, you're amazing. I want to cry now.
Okay,
so cool.
Well, you...
Okay.
You guys have a beautiful night. Say hi to your dad for me.
Okay, thank you. I will reach you soon for a personal reading.
That sounds great.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh, I love it. I love helping families. Hi.
Hi, Amy.
Jessica?
Yeah. I'm so excited to talk to you.
So what's up?
So, okay, so my question, I'm going to give you a bit of a backstory. When I reconnected with my twin after 20 years, last Christmas, he really awoke all of my psychic gifts.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, like I've always sort of been intuitive, but then I met him and it was just like, whoa, the channel is wide open. So me and him have sort of been back and forth in multiple separations, in and out. He doesn't live in my city. I live in our hometown and he lives away. But every time he comes back, we're sort of together. And then he goes home to his karmic, who he says is sort of just a friend with benefits type thing. So anyway, in this last 10 months, I've been like really honing my gifts and doing my own tarot readings and like watching his energy progress and change and it's been like awesome. I feel like I get to spy on him, so that's good. But and
Yeah,
so I've also
we
been
both
like,
spy. That's a good point, though.
yes,
We both spy, just in different ways.
yes. And I'm realizing now, like, this is part of my purpose, is to do readings and things like that. So I've been like opening up and doing it for my friends, and I'm getting so many confirmations from them that the messages I'm getting are super accurate. However, when I'm doing readings about him, something happened this weekend that really made me question all of that, because he came back for another visit, and everything leading up to this visit had told me he's broken up with his karmic, he's like moving home, he wants to be with you, like this is it. And I see him last weekend, and it was like literally the opposite of that. Like, it was like I was talking to a mask. I didn't even recognize him. Like, totally different than our soul connection like a few months ago, where I felt like we're starting something real. And I just like was so disheartened at the end of the night. It was like, I don't even want him in my life now. Like, it was that bad. Like, so I'm a little confused about why I'm getting these messages when it felt really off that night.
Okay. I'm so glad you mentioned this, because I think a lot of feminines go through this, and it's so disheartening. I went through it as well. It made me question everything. I was like, the tarot is wrong, and like everything, my intuition is wrong, and I mean, I seriously crashed so hard you would not even believe. But then I had this huge revelation that's been confirmed a million times over since, that was shocking for me to realize, and I know maybe I was being really naive, but I had no idea how people could lie right to your face about how they feel. And since that happened, I have more confidence than ever that the tarot is absolutely accurate, despite any circumstances you see, or the lies they'll tell your face, or what they're doing on social media, or what they're doing with anybody else. So, I mean, the tarot gets to the heart of the matter of what's really going on. However, whether they act on that or not, or whether they're willing to show you that or not, is a totally different thing. That's why twin flames just frustrate the crap out of me. Twin flames, I mean, yeah, they're awesome if they can finally come together eventually. You know, it's just because just think about the years of buildup and excitement between them, being magnetized toward each other, not able to come together, but then they do, but then they don't. You know, it's like, oh my gosh. But I'll tell you, there's something to be said about soulmates, man. Soulmates, they know what they want. They come right after you. They take you. And it's awesome. And it can be just as passionate with them as with the twins. But, but so many feminines have been holding out for so many years, and their heart is just taken by that twin flame, and they're willing to wait forever, and it could take forever, and it's real sweet when they are able to come together after 20, 30 years or something like that, and they don't always come together either. Having said all of that, your cards are correct. Don't question yourself. Aww. But I will say this, though, too. He loves you. He loves you. And he is... I hope some masculines are hearing this right now, you guys. If you're a masculine and you've been denying your feelings, this is what you're putting her through. And you're putting yourself through it too. You guys are crying too. The masculines, they admit this stuff to me. They love her so much, and they'll lie right to her face, pushing her away, calling her a friend, and saying that they want to be with someone else, or they've chosen someone. They even marry someone else because they feel like they should, because the karmic guilts them or fakes a pregnancy or tricks them into getting married or something. And then I look at the cards, and I'm just shaking my head. He loves his feminine. It always comes back to that. He loves his feminine, period. Whether he's ready to embrace it or not is a totally different thing. Don't question yourself, though, girl.
Yeah. Oh.
And the best way that you can conduct your own card reading is to I mean, I get to know people through the cards. I enjoy that too. I'll look at I'll look at how some people react to certain things or what they think of something, or I explore it, but I try to be really non-attached. I come from a place of curiosity, and I try to be completely unbiased as to whether that works out or not. I treat it like I'm doing a reading for somebody else. I'll spread the reading. Yeah. I'll just be like, let's look what I feel into Amy's situation with so and so, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, okay, so,
Yeah.
And so as long as you treat it kind of in a detached way like that, I think that's the healthiest way and the most accurate way to do your own readings. If there's a part of you that would be like, when you see something, you would just be like, like really upset by it, or, oh my gosh, that, you've got to be more unattached than that. You just got to be like, okay, he has some lessons to learn. Okay, next.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, so like in response to that, okay, so I know he's got his own awakening journey, and it's going to take him his own time. Like, I've been awakening for like 8-9 years, and I feel like he's just starting to wake up. Okay. And I know I'm triggering him. I know all of that, but like, do you feel like his awakening is going to take years and years and years, or is this something he's moving through quickly?
Oh, this is so cool, you guys. This will impress you guys. But I have seen these masculines. Like, it takes us 10 years to get to where we're going. But some of these masculines are like freaking brilliant. I mean, they know how to let go. When they step into their power, it's so impressive. It's unbelievable. And they, in a very short period of time, like instead of 8 years, it takes them like 2 months. It's like once they get it, it starts unraveling really fast for them. And it's just like boom, 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 like fireworks. It's amazing. I love watching it. But these masculines can wake up very rapidly, much faster than the feminines. As much as some feminines like put the masculines down, like they're so dumb. Why don't they get it? It's like, really, it takes the feminines way longer to get where they're at, and then they get all impatient. They're like, okay, I'm sitting at the finish line, for crying out loud, tapping their toes. And the masculines, they may have taken a while to get there, but once they get there, they're like Speedy Gonzalez past the finish line. They like far surpass her. Like, pew. And they're like, and here's a thing or two, Missy. Here's the thing, how to handle this situation better. And, so they're teaching her a thing or two when they get there, some of these guys. But it could take a little bit for them to get there. But they do grow in these bursts, Let me fill into your masculine for a minute in terms of his own awakening.
Awesome.
It's like, I was given the analogy of the never-ending story. Remember when the nothingness was taken over? Such an old movie.
I call him my turtle. Like, he's so slow.
Of course. So it's like the nothingness is taking over, and he was scared of it at first, but now he's like let it, because what I was feeling or sensing was like a rumbling. It's coming for you, roar. This sort of like this ominous thing that's going to take him over. But I think now it's more like he surrendered to it. He knows something is changing him profoundly. And I don't feel him grasping too hard. I really don't feel him grasping to the familiar. That's sometimes what they do too, is like they'll go the opposite direction, clinging to whatever's familiar to them, scared. But when they just surrender, it's so beautiful to see. It's just like they're just like on fire. They just turn into these really powerful men, or women, I guess. So I feel like he's going to be one of those ones that he's already surrendering to quite a bit. And what's really cool is you'll see he gets along with his family better. He tells certain people off that he's needed to for years. It's like the scene in the movie where all of a sudden this guy starts correcting everything, every injustice that's happened. Like he just goes like all throughout his life, and just he quits his job, he goes and does this, and he moves here, and he gets rid of that person, and he tells that person off, and you're just like, whoa, look at him. That's what happens when they totally awaken and go through one of those like bursts I'm talking about, and then they come for you.
Yeah.
They want to make sure everything's all settled and balanced first, but you're like the last thing they come for, but they make things right, they set things right, and then they come and grab you, and they're like, let's go.
Yeah. So can you tell me why, like, the last time I saw him was July, and I literally felt like we were like soul to soul connecting and like literally starting something real, and then why I saw such a different version of him this weekend that like I don't even recognize who he is?
Well, I found that a lot of these masculines, like the feminines, the way that they respond to that kind of intimacy and that kind of closeness is they eat it up. They love it. They're just basking in it. It's like this incredible miracle to them. But to the masculines, if they're not quite ready, it scares the doo-doo out of them. And it makes them want to run and hide. And it makes them very defensive. It makes them want to fight you. So and immediately, and I'll tell you, you look sometime. When he does his thing, ask why he did it or ask how he feels about it now. And look at the cards. You'll see 5 of Cups. And you'll see the 7 of Wands. And you'll see the 5 of Swords show up. Because they, like, I've seen it every time, and they're so conflicted and they hate that they did that and they have all this regret. Yeah. So you'll see the contradiction in the cards. You'll see them be all excited to come see you, and there's like 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, Sun, and all this. And then they see you and they treat you like crap and they didn't mean to, and then they feel really bad about themselves, and then they're beating themselves up. And then they stay hidden for weeks or months or, whatever. So,
so
that's why you want to give a like time to mature. Just let the separation go on, you guys. Don't push that to happen sooner than it should, because they need to mature to the point where they can actually come to you boldly and courageously and not back off. They're like, bring it on. Bring on more intimacy. Yes, and more. And yes, this is enjoyable. I like it. And I'm not going anywhere,
And to be honest, I was actually like furious with him, and like I felt like I've been tiptoeing around him all this time. And on Saturday, I was furious with him, and I let him know it. And I literally felt like, I'm done with this. Like, you need to go do your own stuff, and I don't want to be with you until you've leveled up, because this is not good for me, right? So I guess, like, how do I respond? Like, if he does come back with communication, how should I respond? Should I ignore him? Should I tell him I'm super pissed? You know what I mean? Like,
okay, so here's what you do when you've had this happen, and you're going to be mad at me maybe, but okay, so I really don't advocate any kind of, like, games. So I wouldn't ignore him. That's a game, because you really do love him, and ignoring him would be dishonest in a way. But I would work on yourself. Any kind of anger that you feel about it, or any kind of, like, use my exercise, thank you, God, for my misery. Write on a piece of paper, thank you, God, that he treated me like that. Thank you, God, that he ran away like a little kid. Thank you, God, that, he's a weakling, whatever you want to call him, that you're upset about. Thank you, God, that he's pissing me off. Write it down, and then write the 10 to 15 advantages or benefits as to why that was a really great thing that happened. And that's going to help you feel empowered. It's going to help you feel like it was the right thing, that the universe is supporting you in it, even if it looks like a bad thing. It's actually a good thing for both of you, helping you both grow, or whatever you want to come up with. If you can do that, then it's not like you're condoning their behavior. It's more you're empowering yourself to be more centered and clear and get what you can, get the gold nuggets out of it that you can, so that you're in your strength. And then when he calls you, and then you just what do you need? What do you want to talk about? Just be open, just and ask, have you reflected on our last conversation? And how do you feel about that, or what do you think about last we talked about? Or I want you to, like you said, I want you to level up with me right now and just tell me where we stand, or tell me the truth of whatever, I don't know. I would just stay open, but you got to do the work on yourself before that conversation happens so that you're not defensive and angry with them. And yeah, I mean, you guys get angry if you got to get angry, you know? I mean, some of these guys really kind of need to hear that, how upsetting it is. But, you know, in terms of like being in your power and not saying anything that you regret, you got to clear that energy away by almost becoming grateful of those things that are the bad things.
Mm-hmm.
So you're standing in a place of power and not of reactiveness. You'll be like more responsive. You'll be more open to hearing his explanations or being more compassionate for him or that kind of thing.
And I do feel like he's showing me an opportunity where maybe 20 years ago when I was young and naive, I would have acted totally different with a man. And now I'm like, no, I'm not available for that. Right? Like,
good.
So I guess that's positive.
Yeah, and and also it's like don't settle for anybody who isn't the one that you truly love, but also don't settle for this person that you love to come and not be ready either. If he's not treating you right, don't be with him.
Yeah.
It's so not all about him. You know, it's not all about, like, some of these guys are polygamists, and they're doing it because they're just flat out insecure, I have to say. A lot of these people who are into polygamy are just scared, and so they need a plan B and a plan C in case plan A doesn't work out, you know? So,
well, and I've been trying to ask him about that because he's, sorry. I've been trying to ask him about this relationship to be honest, right? And because, I mean, if he is with someone else, like, I'm okay with that, but just tell me the truth, and, like, you go do you, but on Saturday, I asked him again, like, are you dating someone? Are you dating this girl? And he's going, oh, we're sort of friends and this and that. And he couldn't even give me a straight answer, right? So, like, is he dating her? Are they?
Well, you tell him, are we, like, entering into an arrangement that's open? I mean, can I date whoever I want and you do with, you know, whatever you want with people? Is that what we're doing? Because if that's what we're agreeing to, I got to feel out whether I'm okay with that or not.
Yeah.
You know? And then if that's not it, then why don't you come to me someday when you're ready for commitment? Because that's what I want.
Yeah.
But just, like, know what you want. There's nothing wrong also with putting it off and saying, let me think about this for a while. Whatever they say, you don't have to respond to it and say yes or no. You can think about whatever it is. You know, let him know that you'll call him back in a few days once you've pondered it for a while or something, you know, if you need to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good advice.
Just make sure that it's okay with you, ultimately. Both of you. It should, or any relationship should be what works for you both.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be either of you feeling like you're walked all over or that has to walk on eggshells because it's going to upset the other person. You guys, you know, should be able to just get comfortable. Get or be comfortable.
And I do feel like I found my power this weekend, and it was sort of like, you know, I don't have to, like, as much as I see us in the future married and all of that sort of stuff, it's like, this is not the way it's going to happen. Like, I want something a lot better than this, so I guess I'm just going to wait. And
awesome.
I'm even going on a date next week, so I'm just going to be open to whatever, I guess. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And honestly, sometimes that's what they need. You know, it's like the romantic comedies when, you know, you're up there on the altar and they bust through the door. No, you know. Sometimes that's what gets them out of being a chicken.
It's like the end of When Harry Met Sally.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's happened for a long time through history. So, and then they, you know, once they do come together, it's pretty awesome. But they're afraid of it up until they finally, you know, are grown up enough to handle it. It's also like, it's to the degree that you guys aren't codependent that it's going to last the longest and can really stick. If both of you are mature enough to be able to have those discussions and work together as a team, and you guys don't blame each other, then you guys will be able to stick together. But if one of you isn't quite there yet and gets real blamey and shouldy and demanding and all that kind of stuff, you guys will separate, at least for a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got to get to some more call-ups.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Okay, see ya.
Okay, bye. I really enjoy talking to you guys. You guys it's really neat the things that come up. Shelly.
Amy, hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Congratulations on your move.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So this is a side note because I called because I'm moving in 2 months and I wanted to get some insight, and then I just wanted a twin flame blessing. I didn't want to do anything with that. But as I'm listening to your show, my twin flame messaged me. We haven't spoken in a while, and I just see his name pop up, and I was like, oh, my gosh.
Of course.
I need to tell Amy.
And you're telling me that when it says that you've been on the phone for 44 minutes, by the way, just FYI.
Yeah, I've been on the phone for a minute, and then not just that, I forget the gentleman who answers the line, but I told him, I just want to know about a move, and then just get a twin flame blessing. So I wasn't even trying to talk about him, but he decided to pop up on my phone.
That happens so often. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
Even people who are like over in Afghanistan or something, they'll say something, and it's like 2:00 their time in the morning, and they'll text during a session.
Yeah, it was wild.
So funny.
I'm like, okay. But,
okay.
But yeah.
So you want a blessing?
Yes, please. I would like a twin flame blessing, and then I had a question about a move that I'm going to go on in a little bit here.
Okay, let's look at your move first. What do you want me to help you with?
So I decided back in August that I am moving to a whole other state up north. It's a huge move. I just feel a huge pull. I feel like there's greater opportunity for me out there, especially spiritually. Like, I just want to grow a lot. I want to do shaman classes. I want to do Reiki. I want to do my tarot. I want to soak it all in. Where I'm at here, it's a little more conservative, and I don't have all of those resources as much as I do up north. And my dad, he's giving me an opportunity to stay. He has an extra apartment. He's like, you can stay here until you get on your feet, save some money, do what you need to do. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I guess fear has gotten the best of me. And I've had nightmares about the move. And just, I'm big in dreams, so I've just kind of translated them and researched. And I'm thinking it's just the fear for the move is causing these nightmares and insecurities. But I guess because here, I have family here. I have a stable job. It's not where I want to be for the rest of my life. I get paid well, but I guess the job security, the support here, and then I'm independent. I have my own place, and I guess I'm kind of scared of taking that jump. But then a big part of me, like, I get told, like, Shell's like, just trust us. Just make this sacrifice because this is good for you. But then again, I have that little thing in the back of my head saying no.
Well, in dreams too, they're not exactly. You got to be careful about translating dreams because oftentimes they are just about the feelings that you're experiencing and the fact that you're combating those feelings. So it's about dealing with the feelings in the dream, not necessarily. It's not necessarily a warning, or it's not telling you somebody's actually cheating on you, or that it's actually a bad thing necessarily. But it's more like about like I had an ex that I, had a lot of healing to do afterwards, and I would have all these dreams where he was doing this or doing that, or he'd just like storm through the house or whatever, and those dreams got better and better with time to the point where, like, probably if I had a dream about him now, we'd just be hanging out and kind of just kicking it. But that's because I've evolved in my healing process with him, and the dreams are kind of reflecting back to me that you've done all this. You've done all this healing. It's not saying, "Hey, now you get along great with him. Why don't you welcome him back into your life?" You know what I mean? That would be reading into it in the wrong way. So, so let me feel into that.
Okay.
You're definitely going to be facing some fears. I feel like you're going to be more lonely there. But I feel like if you take the time to just go inside and be reflective, I feel like you might even leave again in the spring or something. I feel like just look at it as a downtime and kind of like a going within introspective time. And it's not going to look like the time that you've been having where you're at. It's going to look different, but I feel like it'll be very, very beneficial to you, especially if you take that reflection time to work on yourself. I would do Byron Katie's work. I would journal. I would, learn, gather information. I see you studying like on YouTube and all kinds of things. So I think it'll be really great for you. I just think you need to look at it just don't compare it to where you're at now. It's not going to be the same thing. But you'll be back in a situation. You'll be back in a situation happy like you are now later.
Mm-hmm. I got you. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Because I guess I just been in my head. I get in my head easily, and I just start overthinking, and I just spiral. It's like, what's going on? You're fine. Just do it. Just do it.
So. You can do just about anything as long as you know how to emotionally support yourself. You can take a risk on anything as long as you know you've got your own back and you know how to look at things. And sometimes, you have to trick your mind and you have to look at things from a different perspective in order to look at it from a healthy perspective to where you're like supporting yourself. So as long as you can start to master that ability, you'll feel pretty comfortable making any change. Even if it turns out to be a so-called mistake, it won't be, because you'll have grown and you'll have somehow you'll level up again somewhere down the road. So
yeah. I agree with that, because I don't see it as a forever. I see it as just like I'm going to be there for a little bit, and then I'm going to another place. Yeah, that's how it's kind of going. So thank you. I needed that.
You're welcome. Yeah. Let me do a blessing for you then, and then I'll get to some more callers.
All right, no problem.
Okay. Hamai kanse halishiki imbona haliki itsanse. Now this is a twin flame blessing for everybody. They just wanted me to remind. Okay, Aishikansa nadatela epiina, hai ipo konsa nan anela, Riki itzinsi, hamoko johnson, halaki natateela, apokona nanate, Ashakinsan sana lakiina. Okay, so what I saw with your masculine in particular was it was like he's starting to see that you guys really mirror each other, and his hands were up to your hands, touching. And then you guys were like looking eye to eye at each other and kind of in amazement of the way that you guys do reflect one another so beautifully. And then I saw him like intertwine his fingers with yours from like this place of strength. Like, I got you. And it was like this really beautiful, supportive feeling.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you for that. I appreciate you so much, Amy.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
You too. Okay.
All right, bye. Okay, Mackenzie, I'm getting you next. If I can pick up. Mercury retrograde, right? Mackenzie? Hey.
Hi, Amy. Hello, can you hear me?
So something's going on with your cat?
Oh, yeah. He's, I've had him for, I think he's 17. And he is just like the most lovely thing to me in the world. Like, he's like a soulmate to me. He's so awesome. But I feel like, I know he has arthritis. Like, he's kind of a big boned animal. And we had to put my other cat that he grew up with his whole life down this past February. And he seemed to be okay at first, but now he's starting to like get really needy. And he had a bout of illness this last week where he was crying a lot and had like stomach issues and stuff. And I don't know, like I'm just trying to feel him out to see if he's incredibly uncomfortable or like what I could do to help him.
Yeah, it feels like he's kind of dreading the cold, the weather getting colder.
Yeah.
I feel achy. I feel like he's definitely mourning the death of the other one. He's wondering where he went so that he could go too. It's like he's definitely like, it feels like he's trying to fade himself out. And they do that.
Okay.
In the wild, he'd just go die, but he loves you.
Right.
So it's a different dynamic when they're a household, when they're domesticated like that. If he, honestly, it's like if you locked him outside, you'd probably never see him again because he'd probably go run and get hit by a car. He wants to go. But he'll see his health deteriorate more and more until you feel comfortable putting him down, because he doesn't want you to do it prematurely to where you're going to be upset about it or feel like you made the wrong decision.
Right. I don't think it's time yet. And it's going to be awful, but like, yeah, I don't know if like I feel like he's.
I just feel a real pull for him to be with the other animal, the one that died.
Yeah. Her name was Nellie.
Oh, Nellie. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants to be with her.
I mean, like, would he be okay with that when the time comes? Like, would he understand what I was doing for him?
Yeah. She actually showed him what happened to her. So she's kind of helped him. She gave him some like telepathic images and stuff to help him get more comfortable.
Yeah, she went peacefully. It was, definitely a merciful thing to do because she was so sick.
Yeah. And I think she told him that, and he's just like, well, I want to go. It's really funny because animals they're not like us. They don't make up all these stories and stuff. They're happy to leave their bodies because they'll just go right into another one. They hop, skip, and jump like they're putting on clothes. Oh. They miss their humans. They love their humans, but in terms of like it's hard to explain, but they really do see it as a very natural thing. They don't freak out about it like we do. They don't fear it as bad as we do. They're just more curious. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to go where you went. I want to go into that room that you went into. The one that I can't see, I want to go there. And they'll just like drop their meat suit like nothing.
So funny because a lot of people say that when you have two cats or like two dogs, or if they grew up together and one of them leaves, it's like the other one kind of fades fast. Like my mom had two cats that died in the same weekend.
Yeah,
It was and so like he seems more needy because she's not around.
Yeah. But, it happens to a lot of human couples too that have been together for many years.
Yeah.
It's just like being close to someone and not liking it when they're not there anymore, basically.
Yeah, they didn't really even get along, which is the kind of funny part.
Oh, that's funny.
She didn't like him very much at all.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? He goes and follows her and she's like, I thought I was done with you.
Well, I got her as a kitten and I got her as a kitten and I thought I was getting her a friend, and when I brought him home like 6 months later, she was just nothing but just angry at me for it. So like every time he'd come near her, she'd like swat him and like tolerate him next to her, but that's it. Like they weren't like in like lovey-dovey or anything like that. You'd be surprised though. It's like it's almost like it reminds me of like somebody who's been captured or kidnapped or something, and they fall in love with that person. Like, how could you fall in love with this person who is forcing you to stay with them or whatever? But they do. I mean, it feels like he has feelings for her. Like he loved her. He didn't care that she was like that. And sometimes it's just familiar, just plain old familiar. Yeah. So it makes him feel more comfortable. And now with her being gone, it's like this deafening void. Yeah, and he's alone all day, like a
fear. Yeah, and he's like, it's like I just feel like a deafening quiet. That's like, I was so used to her being around, and now what? And it's like this fear comes over you of the unknown. You could, I suppose, it feels like he would still want to go the same direction, but it's like, I could see you getting a kitten, but then he'd be like, okay, well, I guess I'm not needed anymore. So no matter what you do, it looks like he's wanting to go. But at least a kitten would or even if you adopt an older cat or something, it would be something that could at least, maybe put it off a little bit longer because he would be getting entertained.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
Now.
Yeah, he's all right. Maybe put on the TV or radio or something. He needs a distraction. He needs something going on.
Okay.
Because he's not liking how quiet it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Can we do a quick check-in on the twin?
What do you want to know?
Well, you said before that something was going to happen in October, like something is going to change.
Okay, so you're just wondering if that's going to happen still?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. It's changed, but it's still coming. It's just going to be different than it was going to be. I don't know what that means. So maybe, like, if you guys were supposed to meet at a party, now you're going to run into each other in public or something. Or maybe before it was intentional, and this time it's going to be an accident. I think you're going to have some kind of interaction of some sort, but it's going to be different than what you were expecting.
Okay. But I mean, like, is he like maturing or anything changing with him?
And I can't say I've done one of those spurts yet, unfortunately. But you guys might have a really good talk or something.
Okay.
I just wouldn't expect too much.
So he's pretty much still...
They just said it'll be forward. It's going to be more Knight of Pentacles rather than like Knight of Swords or something.
Is he still in a relationship with somebody else?
Yes. For now. He knows he's leaving now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Gotta
Amy.
go.
Thank you so much. Okay.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
All right. You too. Bye.
Okay, bye. Mm-mm.
Hi, Amy.
Hey.
Hello. How are you?
Congratulations
on your move.
Thank you.
Of course, no problem. I had called because I have just been in a really confused energy. I think a couple of weeks ago I had went to a fair and there was a tarot lady there, and my friends really wanted to get theirs done, so they kind of convinced me to go do mine too. And she had just been, like, she said a couple of really aggressive things about, like, oh, you're twin flame, that's not your person, which that was fine. It was just the manner in which you said it was very condescending. So I think after that, like, I've been in this like energy of, like, am I just waiting for somebody who I shouldn't be waiting for? Am I wasting my time? Like, should I reach out? Like, I saw your video on assumptions the other day, and it really made me think, like, should I reach out? Should I reach out? And if I do reach out, am I disrupting his growing process? And am I putting myself back if I do that? Like, am I giving him power if I, in a way, go back to him? Because I feel like I wasn't necessarily in a waiting energy before. I think I was pretty much focused on my career and other things because I had a lot going on in my life, and now I feel like I'm back in the waiting hole, and I don't like being in here.
Yeah, I understand that. I would watch my video on how to pick a psychic because you don't want to just go to any old psychic. You have to make sure, number one, that they're unbiased, that they don't take their own personal information and insert it in there unless it's actually like convenient. You know, you got to know as a psychic, you've got to have a feel for whether you should insert a story from your personal life or not. But also, you get a lot of psychics who just assume a lot of things, and they think that, you know, if a guy is ignoring you, you shouldn't be with him. I got a comment the other day on my weekend. It was my weekend energy read or something like that, and they said, "Oh, Amy, if a guy isn't just pounding down your door wanting to spend every minute with you, he's not the one for you. You don't want to be with that guy. Any guy who's not like right by your side." And I was like, well, you haven't watched my video, the different types of true love relationships, because that's actually not the one that you want. Because the one who beats down your door and won't leave you alone, it could be a psychopath or somebody really dangerous. And, you know, they make your friends feel better because they're like, oh, somebody feels like they actually see your worth, honey. You know, good for you. You have this guy who's pursuing you. And it's like, well, there's so many different things to be said about that, because I have seen karmic men come after these women, and they know they've been waiting, and they just take advantage, and they know the things to say to charm them, and they know how to get in there. So, some of these psychics really do just make a lot of assumptions and don't know what they're talking about, and they're not twin flames themselves, so they have no clue. And they think that if a guy is like I said, if they're ghosting you, don't have anything to do with them. But there's so much more to it than just making some kind of a blunt, assumption about it.
Yeah.
Also,
when she said that, sorry.
Yeah.
When she said that, like everything she had said up until that point was very like resonated, and then she said that, and I was like, it doesn't feel right. But I didn't know
Good.
if I was just like lying to myself and being very hopeful and projecting, or if it was an actual if I was being truthful to myself.
I feel like you were feeling into it intuitively, and I feel like you knew that if you would have interviewed that reader, then you probably would have found out she's been really screwed over by people like that in her life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they've been real burned by people. So it's like, and they haven't gotten their lessons out of it or whatever, or they've just been so quick to label something as unhealthy because they're really guarded. So listen to your instincts more than anything. And I have quick relationship spreads and twin flame check-ins that you could always do to find out what they think of you and how they feel about you. So you could always do that if you doubt. But yeah, I would listen to your instincts above anything, and just make sure that the person that you go to has a loving energy also. Okay. Because some of these psychics do, they'll be all warny and oh, well, you should watch out for this or that, and it keeps you coming back. It gets you hooked. They know that will make you addicted to them. So I don't know. You just have to you just got to feel it out. And I would go to somebody, especially for a love reading. I would make sure you go to somebody who claims to be a twin flame, or it really resonates with you what they're saying about twin flames in that journey. And also, it's really funny because there's also the dynamic of if you're a female masculine and a man is coming after you and being really pursuant, that could be a feminine. That could actually be your divine feminine. But in such a case, it would feel beautiful and incredible and super intense. It wouldn't feel tricky or manipulative at all, Anyway, that's why it's so important to feel it out with your own intuition as well, and just be wise. Because some suitors really aren't, the ones that come on strong may not be coming from the best place. Maybe they're trying to ride your coattails, or maybe they're not coming from the best place. So just listen to your instincts and go to a psychic who's got energy that you feel comforted by, that you feel are a good person.
Okay. And then I guess the other part would be if I feel like I should reach out to my divine masculine, how do I know if that's actually something I should act upon versus me being lonely?
Okay. That's also a very good question. We all go through. Reach out if it feels good and you don't have any expectation of them saying anything back.
Okay.
I mean, I send my twin flame messages. I think I sent him some audio recording the other night. I was like, oh, remember the last time when you came in here? It was this happened. I was cracking up with my friend the other day because something similar happened, and I'll just laugh and leave this message or whatever and just hang up. And I don't care. I know at some point in the future we're going to reconcile, not necessarily be together, but we're going to have a heart-to-heart at some point and see eye to eye, and I'm hoping we can at least be friends. I would really like to be friends with him, and that's really all I want from him at this point. I have somebody else that I like more than him that I really think that I have a lot more of something with, or could. But I think that it's always a good idea to try to be friends, with that person, with your twin flame or whoever you need. I think you should just try to have peace with everybody that you've had this kind of thing with. So just feel into it and just don't have any expectations, and you're fine. I mean, I've spilled my heart out to, a few people these last few years. No, 2. Felt like a few. And every time I haven't regretted it, because it's like, if I die, they know how I felt. That's all I care.
Oh, exactly.
I'm not out to get anything from anybody. They know what I'm thinking. They know what I'm feeling, and that's it.
I guess I was just
terrified
that, like, if I reached out to him, like, I would drag myself back, and I would make him be dragged back as well, because I just don't want to go in the same loophole, and, like, I don't want to go through the same, like, fighting. I want to, like, move forward.
It's so funny because my masculine, or my twin flame, I said, I feel like you're coming out here. And he said, I am. I'm coming next week. And he said, how about we go out for coffee and spend some time together? And every time he's come out, he used to come out like every 6 months or so. Every time he came out, we'd spend a couple hours together. And so this time was like going to be our first kind of like almost a date, like we were actually going to schedule some time and spend some time together. And then I had this other psychic tell me, you're gonna tell your twin flame that he's a twin flame too soon, and it's gonna delay everything. And I didn't believe her, but it happened. I felt nervous about him coming out, and I felt like I didn't want to like drop it on him over coffee. So I was like, I better just like warn him or tell him that he should read my website or know what I'm up to, or something, And I was like, guess what? You're my twin flame, And I haven't heard. Did I hear from him since then? I don't remember. He may have visited me after that, but he pretty much turned like cold as ice since. And I was like, oh. So, yes, it can backfire on you to do that. I wouldn't talk twin flame or anything. Yeah, until you guys are like ready to reciprocate feelings for each other. But honestly, I mean, I just am a real advocate of just say what's on your heart, and I'm a romantic that way, but like write them a letter, write them a text or whatever. Just tell them how you feel. Okay. What's it going to hurt? I mean, it could delay like it did for me, but I mean, don't use twin flame terminology or anything. You might do better than I did.
I went down that rabbit hole already. That was like, I did that rabbit hole like a year ago, and I'm pretty sure it was just like the dumbest thing I ever did. But you know what? Like, it really helped me, because I told him, I was like, you know what? Like, I've been trying so hard to make sense of what we are to one another, especially because ever since I've known him, he's always had a karmic. So, like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, everything I do with you, like, it's against anything I ever believed in. Like, I never thought I'd be in love with somebody who had a relationship. Like, that is just, like, such a big sin. And, like, if you had told me before I met you that I would be that girl, I would be like, hell no, I'm a girl's girl, hell no. But, like, I was like, this helped me put sense into what it is. And even if, we don't end up together, and we're just people who helped one another get to where we need to go. Like, what we have, whatever you define it as, twin flame, soulmate, or just weird friendship, like, we have something that's really special, and that should be recognized in some manner. So, I don't know. Yeah. Thank you, Amy. Like, I definitely feel so much better now. Like, I feel like, hopefully,
if I had my wish with my twin flame, I would just like to get together and just put all our cards on the table and just have a good laugh about it all and just be friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just be like, that was a freaking hoot. Wasn't that hilarious? And like wipe our hands and walk away going, all right, but like being really honest with each other and just having it out. That would just feel so great. And then,
Yeah.
So just say it.
Okay.
Just say it. Yeah. And then, and listen to your intuition when it comes to the other stuff.
Okay, thank you. Because I always doubt it. I'm always like, am I like trying to lie to myself? Because I think that's my biggest fear. Like, I don't want to lie to myself because I want a favorable outcome. So I'm trying to be.
Hey, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been on the phone for 1 hour and 11 minutes.
I know. I just saw that. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And it's
So
7-Eleven in my time. It's 7-Eleven right now too.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay.
All right.
I guess I'll do it. I don't know. Thank you so much, Amy, for all your help.
Welcome. Have a good night.
All right. You as well. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello? Hi. Hi, Amy.
A male voice. This is nice.
Yeah, excited to be here. First time on one of these type of shows, so I'm a bit nervous.
Oh, that's fine. So you wanted some guidance from Spirit? That's what you were looking for tonight?
Yeah, and I guess how my twin flame is doing. I'm actually divine, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. I believe it. I believe it. So, and the reason I say that is because it doesn't matter the gender, but it's the one who's left in the dark wondering what the heck's going on. That's why they got to call the show. They're like, I don't understand. All right.
I'm sorry. Go on.
Go ahead.
I kind of know how things are going because I had kind of went through this crazy metamorphosis over the summer. We were in a lot of separation, and I had learned that I shouldn't be throwing too much shade at her. I should really figure out what's wrong with myself before I even have anything cast her way, and it made me learn a lot about myself. And
Awesome.
I can see that I can feel her a lot more, especially sexually. And she's been a lot more talkative to me lately, and I feel like she's about to explode with emotion. I can't be too sure, but that's what it feels like.
Awesome. Yeah. It's amazing the journey that happens energetically with this person, too. And you might even feel that you feel her sometimes. Because of the energetic connection, it's like you might have a really happy day and all of a sudden plummet into depression out of nowhere. And you're like, what is happening? Or have all this anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually the other person. And you're just like, thanks a lot. I was having a great day. Okay, let me, what's the latest on what's been going on with her? Do you talk to her fairly regularly, or is it a lot of distance?
Well, she lives in Australia. I live in the U.S., and I've seen her about three times so far. We went, after I said I love you back in January, and she said I love you back, and we kind of went through this really rough patch where we weren't talking, because I felt something was wrong, but she wouldn't quite say it, so we just had to take our space, and I was not too happy about that, because I knew something was fishy, but I couldn't quite prove it.
Yeah.
So I had to do a lot of work, so I was, really upset, and I said, hold on a second, because her brother said something really weird to me, and it made me feel like, if he talks this way to me, imagine how she was talking to her entire life, so I can't be too mad at her for being the way she is. I have to work on a lot of serious things in myself before I even cast anything on her. And I felt so much remorse. And And I know that when we do, come back again to have a serious talk, I have a lot of apologizing myself to do.
That's awesome. That's the way to handle it. That's what you do. This journey is really a spiritual journey about personal growth. It's not having to do with being with that person necessarily. It's what you guys can do to kind of help each other and grow.
But now,
so
it's coming out really nicely. She's been more talkative than I had her, more talkative than ever, honestly. We were up till maybe 5 a.m. on my birthday. We were talking about the old times when we first met, just sharing old goofy videos, and I just felt this extreme longing. I'm like, oh my God. I know, to be honest, that this girl loves me, and it's just like, oh my God, and it's just like, it's over me, and I'm trying to keep myself focused on what I have to do for myself, which does involve my mission. I think it involves moving out there, because I felt the pull there very strongly every single time I go out there. Even without her, it's just like, I feel so strongly pulled there, and I feel as if it's on its way to happening very swiftly, but I just want to know what Spirit wants me to do to prepare myself, and what else I have to know that I can't see right now. Because sometimes I just can't see it, but I'm just all eager to get it done.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's awesome. Okay, so I definitely feel like you're going out there. That's the first thing that I'm feeling, is that you're definitely going. Don't be surprised if she does back away again. But hang on a minute. I think she'd be. You're probably not going to go move in with her, right?
Probably not.
Okay, because it feels like she'd be more comfortable if you lived in a different place at first.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could take off some of the pressure by, like, when you first get there, just be all about getting a job or your career going or something like that, you know? It feels like it would feel better for her.
Okay.
If you're just like, if you become too needy and you get there and you're just like all about her and just are so focused on her, she'll probably run again for a little bit. But it just keep the communication open, but I would just put your focus on, you know, getting to know the area and, you know, getting a job or whatever, you know, and have your own place or something like that, it feels like. Unless she's open to it and she's cool with that, but it feels to me like she's going to want to just kind of step into it a little bit slowly. As much as you guys are moving fast, it's like, I don't want her to jerk away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me see what else. Don't doubt yourself when you get there if she does pull back. Like, don't think you made the wrong decision. Just keep, like, put your blinders on and just know that you did the right thing and just keep at it. Keep going after your career. Keep doing your thing. So just plan on being very independent when you get over there. Make it all about you and what you want to do. That's going to be your best approach. And I feel like you're going to go over there, like, fairly soon.
Okay. I mean, the funny thing is her mother said, like, you can come stay with us, but I said to myself, that sounds great, but I do want to have my own place and everything.
Cool. Good. Yeah, I mean, there are certain situations. I would say if this was a soulmate situation, yeah, go move in with her or whatever. Soulmates are so much more, like, ready for that. Twin flames, they're just so fickle. They're, you know.
Yeah.
They don't know how to handle their emotions quite like the soulmates, but yeah, that's all I'm getting. And I get a lot more callers to get through and only like 10 minutes to get through everybody.
Well, I'm glad you answered my questions very quickly. Thank you.
Cool. You're welcome. And I'm glad you called. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Okay. Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Okay. First of all, real quick, I discovered your videos the last few months. I've been enjoying them.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and, you know, I love listening you talk with everybody because, you know, you get a little golden nuggets from each person, you know, when you give them insight. So my scenario is a twin flame thing, but I'm going to call it higher love because the label. Okay. And it started around 2012. There's no specific person. I had a lot of people on a phone call that have specific people. And I think that I'm intuitive. And this is before I even knew about Twin Flame. Twin Flame came to be maybe about 2-3 years when it started getting popular on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And I went through all that emotion. You know how they have like different stages? I went through that since 2012 to now. Mm-hmm. So my question is, how to bring it, the way I play with it, because I don't have a person, I play with this energy, you know, like I'm the divine feminine and divine masculine. And I do think it's all about our inner self-love and our inner masculine and all that. You know, the inner masculine and feminine, and then how it shows about. So my question is it T, the guy that I'm thinking about? And if it's not, how do I make it more in 3D, like real, versus like the 5D twin flame bit? Or the higher love. I don't want to label it.
Yeah, there's a guided meditation I have on YouTube. If you put in Amy Satori Ideal Love meditation, it'll come up. It's real brief.
Okay.
It's only like 3 to 5 minutes, but it really, really is a great tool for manifesting that person for you. That person that's going to be like harmonious and get along great and laugh and tickle and all those great things.
Okay.
Okay.
So is it like is it like this guy T, or is it like I'm seeing it more psychically, a few years, and it's going to manifest more into 3D?
Let me see.
3D meaning like, in person, not just like energetically.
I'm getting that T could be whoever T is.
It could be, right?
Could be. What's your relationship with T?
It isn't. It's more on an energetic level, and I play with sign synchronicity. It seems like this is different. This is when it feels like what he posts and what I post. It seems like we're talking that way. This is totally different than what you guys are used to, like that. So I'm not sure if
common. That's very common.
It is?
I mean, even when you know the person in the physical, you guys will often say stuff on social media or in sneaky ways to each other, kind of winking at each other.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering because, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, I'm wondering if it's actually him and I talking, or is it like something I'm learning from this energy? You understand?
I think it's you guys actually talking.
All right. Hallelujah. So how do I? So how I make it more real, where we actually start creating?
Well, one of the ways is to imagine that he's with you in your environment all the time.
Okay.
Imagine, just be having conversations as if he's there, or just imagine what he would do if you did such and such. Like just imagine there being banter between the two of you. Like make it more real.
Well, it's funny. Okay, make it more real. Go ahead, continue.
Well, here's what I was going to say. That you're about to say this, but when you're imagining it, sometimes it's actually what's happening in the 5D. It's not your imagination. I'm saying imagine it because it opens you up to see the 5D. But a lot of times,
I hear conversation. A lot of conversations.
There you go.
I know it's real because I have a friend. We talk about this, and but my thing is, I always try to keep it grounded. I'm like, you know what? It benefits. It's win-win. Whether this is real or not, I'm learning a lot because I learn about, it's all about you. It's your inner masculine, feminine, and also, I do worry about it in my head, but I know the energy is real because it's too many signs of synchronicity. I just wasn't sure because I'm not dating anybody, but it just feels like with this guy. But I'm like, you know what? It's a win-win, whether it's him or somebody else. And now I've heard you say that before, that people do that with each other, but I wasn't sure. And also what Divine teaching me is to trust my intuition because I've asked people, do I have anybody? Or, if you don't want to tell them directly, I'm talking to them by blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, no. And there's something in me. It's like, no, you got to trust your intuition. And I'm like, okay. And that's why I'm asking you because I see a lot of your videos and it has like a lot of different dynamics. And you also keep it real, even though you talk about very woo-woo, things. And I do want to probably have a reading with you privately, but thank you for confirming that because now I could say, okay, it's this. It's not like, something else. But you have any other insight about that? How to,
The only other thing that's going to make this thing come together, as with everything, is to stay in the moment and stay really present.
Right. So, yes.
When you're not doing this manifestation work by imagining all of this, then you need to be really aware of the aliveness in your body and be really present about the things and the activities that you're doing and the conversations that you're having. Just try to cultivate more joy and peace in your life in the moment. And that's just going to gravitate to you. Even if it's not him, it's going to gravitate to you, somebody who's absolutely incredible for you.
Well, that's the thing. You said even if it's not him, that's why I want to keep it open where, like you talk about expectation. And just, even saying with your guy, you just want to have a good energy about it. So I want to approach it. But but what I like about you saying could be with T, it gives me like, okay, it's not all in my head, but you're also saying it could be this or something better. And
exactly.
Which I like, but at least it validates me. This is very important. It's several years I've been playing with this energy. So, now it's like a big, you know what I mean?
I do know other people who are in the same boat. Yeah, I do know other people who have...
And it helps, because then
totally
I
unconventional things going on. Yeah.
Well, no, it's good that you mentioned that. I am also glad that you said, keep it open to, whether it's this or this other harmonious thing, but it really helped my inner self to validate, okay, this was real. Because you would be like, no, but, it means like, still go with it, So this is very important. I'm glad that I've heard you say a little bit about people play with that, but I don't know if I've heard too much details about it. But okay, I'm excited about that. Because I'm telling you, it's been since 2012, like this whole energy of the 5D, and then it just kind of, evolved to so many different levels. And everybody talked about Pacific person. I'm just like, I don't know, this is a little different.
Well, but let's just put it this way too. A lot of people who think that their twin flame is the one that they want to be with will do something like what I did, and you shut the door and bolt it shut, and then all of a sudden these other options start coming in that are even better, and you just keep, so even those people who think that they know who the one is, it may not be that one. So you got to really keep an open mind and keep your vibration high. That's really the key.
Right. But at least, because I was going to shut it off with that energy, but now I'm going to keep it open, but also just more focused on the like you said, about how I feel, and a lot of it is, like you say, it's always about how we feel, how we are with ourselves. Yeah. One thing great, I was able to watch all the different dynamics, the games I play or I didn't play, and all that. So it's like a win-win. You learn from it. So, like, even what you said before, like, you had a good attitude, like, I would love to see my twin flame. And let's just speak up on, through the heart and up front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's
just be honest, have a good laugh.
All right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, I guess you were saying, like, listen to the meditation?
Listen to the Ideal Love meditation. Ideal Love meditation, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, I got more callers to get to you.
All righty. Thank you very much. Right. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful night.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Okay. Heather, I'm trying to get to you. Here we go. And we've got like a few calls, so if the quicker we can make it, the better, guys. Are you there, Heather?
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. That's funny. Nobody came on to ask my name.
Oh. TD, are you asleep? He likes to play guitar while he's screening calls, so maybe he's like,
okay.
Is Dash doing something to distract you? That's funny.
That's funny. Well, I guess it was meant to be. Okay. My question is, where am I on my spiritual journey right now? And of course, the question is my twin, how's he doing?
Okay, on your spiritual journey. Feels like there's been a big distraction. It's like you're on path, you were really going gung-ho, but then you kind of went off a little bit onto some kind of a distraction.
Okay. Well, yeah, yes.
Do you know what distraction? Did it pop in your head?
Yeah. There's a couple distractions, yes.
Okay. Tell me what each one is, and I'll tell you which one they're talking about.
Okay. I recently got a new job, so it's been a lot of learning process for my new job.
Okay.
So that's been, and just the rebalancing of my schedule, because I have.
Okay. What's the other one?
And my other one is I've been dating a lot.
That's the one. That's the distraction.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. Why are they calling it a distraction? Let me ask them why they're calling that the distraction.
Okay.
Because you're putting it's like you're diluting your energy. It's going in all these different directions, and it's spreading your energy too thin. You need to keep your concentration on your career and on your divine life path.
Okay.
And you let the right man come to you. You're going to attract the right man, and the right man isn't going to necessarily dilute your energy because it's not going to be confusing. It's going to be like, wow, I'm excited about this. And then you're going to feel more certain and more confident about your connection to that person as you get to know him. It's going to feel different than it's been feeling with all these guys.
Right. Yes, it's definitely been like a probably purposeful distraction in a sense, just because, just.
So they're saying if you want a distraction, distract yourself with the God source energy pouring through your veins in any given moment. Like what you put your attention on, you create more of. So if you want a bunch of distractions, keep it up. But if you want to cultivate more peace and bring that true love to you faster, then be splitting your attention between what's going on in the physical world and feeling that aliveness in your body that means you're right here, right now, and nowhere else in the past or the future. You're just glowing right now.
Right.
And or distract yourself with, if you can distract yourself with having fun and joyful activities, that's another worthwhile distraction.
Right.
Anything that will keep your vibration up and happy.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. It's been a purposeful distraction, but I'm ready to be, re-centered and refocused on my divine mission.
Good.
Of myself.
Let me see. Let me see what else they want to say in terms of your twin flame's making his way to you, but it does feel he's going slow. So in the meantime, I'm feeling that like there are some more creative projects that you could be working on in your spare time that would be really good. It would be cultivating some like meditation energy, like that God source energy stuff. Like if you like I don't know, get into something like, I don't know if it's pottery or painting or drawing or just something creative. It feels like is calling you.
Okay.
Something that you really have to get in the moment for, and that you can almost forget about it. Some people actually like color in coloring books, but something that'll just bring you right, or make malas, or make jewelry, or do something that you really have to concentrate on in the moment. You know what I used to love doing? I used to put together model cars, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
And that took all my energy. It was so cool, all these little tiny pieces. You had to paint each piece and let them all dry, and then you had to glue them together. And it was fun. And I could do that for hours and hours and not even care about the rest of the world or what anybody was doing. I was so in the moment, so do something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And another
that's all
weird thing. Ask them if they tell me what this pineapple symbolism means.
Okay, hang on. I'm feeling something has to do. I'm like, okay, some things you just can't say. Let's just say it's having something to do with kind of like turning life's lemons into lemonade, making something taste better. So it's like there are some things I feel like they're like, let the sunshine pour through in whatever subject. It's like it feels like whatever subject was just being talked about around the time you see the pineapple or something. It's kind of like about because pineapples are prickly on the outside too, and so but they're so yummy. They're so yummy on the inside. So I think they're encouraging you to see the sweetness in whatever looks sour or looks bad or that kind of thing. See the other side of the coin. Okay. That's what I'm getting.
And I've had a couple experiences that basically I manifested, I scripted what I thought was, a divine counterpart into my life, and it didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to. So, I let it go. But, the person that walked in was the person I scripted to a T.
Oh, wow.
So, to
nice
a T.
Work.
It was almost, right. And I've done a lot of shadow work and, and inner work and, a lot of scripting and manifesting. And manifesting has been, very easy for me. So my point is that I guess I have to be careful what I'm manifesting into my life.
Just remember what you put your attention on, you're creating more of.
Right. Which I thought that I was creating a divine counterpart, outside of my twin flame, like a soul flame. But it wasn't.
Well, sometimes there are different ways that people look at this sometimes. Like, you shouldn't put don'ts or things that you don't want, but it's so funny because I made a list. I kind of manifested an ex-husband who was unbelievably perfect in so many ways. I mean, he was just unbelievable, but there were some really bad things. And I thought, I did a great, awesome job manifesting that perfect person, but I didn't, I left out saying, please don't let him also be such and such.
Right. Right.
And so, I'm like, okay, now my list says all of this great stuff and none of this stuff.
Well, I rechanged my list. Yes. Yes, and I rechanged my list, and I said, whatever universe is for my highest purpose and highest timeline, and what's the best timeline for me.
It all in the positive. You could say all of that in the positive, but just be specific.
Right.
Like I feel incredible around him most of the time, or whatever. However you want to put that, but yeah, I would. Like if you don't want a smoker, for example, you don't have to say don't let him smoke. You could just say something like he's loves to be really healthy and keep his lungs clean.
Right.
That would be a good way. That'd be a good way to say that isn't in the negative. But he loves keeping his lungs clean. That would get rid of a smoker right there.
Right. Okay. But yeah, intuitively, I know that I need to get back on my, clearer energy line. I've just been, distracted between dating and my new job, and the schedule has been just trying to rebalance my life with it all. So yes, I do agree with that.
Okay, well, I gotta go because we still got some more calls to get through, and I should have been over 10 minutes ago. All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, bye. Okay. Hello.
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 Hi, this is Sham.
Hey.
Hi. I wasn't sure. I didn't. Nobody came on and asked me anything, so I wasn't too sure if I'm really on there.
He must have fallen asleep.
Seriously?
I need to send him a text and see what he says.
That is hilarious. The energy was too much.
Where are you? This is going to be funny. Here we go. Where are you? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, usually I know exactly what is going on. Well, not with my own life, but with everybody else, I'm right on the button. And when I met my twin flame, which I avoided anything about twin flames my whole life, anytime I heard about it, I was like, whatever, not me. I can even find a person like me. I'm definitely not going to find my twin. And and when I met him 2 years ago, it was everything, like the last piece to the puzzle. Everything just fell into place, and things I had been working on my whole life, like raising my kundalini, you know, and tapping into the Akashic records and stuff. It all just was there, and it was amazing. And I always say I have all the answers. I just don't know the questions. So we're in separation now, and that I don't know what to do. I feel so lost. I always have my eye on the bigger picture, just knowing where my goal is, and that I'm always moving forward, and I don't have time to go backwards. And and anybody that has come into my life or fallen out, they'll know right where to find me, because I will never stop to reach that goal. I felt like my twin flame and I, that we had a huge purpose on this planet, you know, to really impact all of existence. And that might sound crazy, but my entire life I knew I came here to change the world. So now I just feel like it's on a grander scale. However, when he went back to his children and his ex, I didn't know what to do. and then it gets me to start thinking, like, I didn't know if he's my false, or if it was all just a distraction the whole time, because I've been through so many different obstacles, and I just kind of wanted to ask you what you thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea to, like, get a quick relationship spread or a twin flame check-in.
Yeah.
I think it would be very revealing.
Yeah, definitely.
And that gets so discouraging when they choose to go in another direction.
Right.
But it just has that feel, yeah.
He actually, I feel he needed that. You know, he needed it for his own self-discovery, and to see that, I guess that wasn't where he really was supposed to be. And however, he is still there going through the motions, and every once in a while, like every few weeks or so, I'll get a message saying, you know, hold on, I love you, and I'm still working towards, you know, coming to you. Don't give up, no matter what. But I haven't heard from him in probably a month now, and that it feels different. And
okay, well, don't look too much into it.
Okay.
Because these relationships tend to ebb and flow like that.
Right.
But those are some huge messages you guys have already shared with each other.
Yeah.
So,
I met somebody in the meantime, in the last few months that we've been separated, and I wasn't planning on it. I knew that once I realized that I had a twin flame, and that they do exist, I realized that he was who I was looking for my whole life. So when we split, there was no question in my mind. If I wasn't with him, there were no other options for me, you know, and I kind of just fell into place with somebody else. And but being with this new person, at first I thought it was going to be my, like, oh, I have a soul flame, you know, and it actually now feels like this is my false. And I usually don't look into, like, those, you know, those titles or categories and stuff, and just go with how it feels. But I realized that while dating the new person, that I have really put my everything I've worked towards for my entire life, I've put it on the back burner. And now I just I feel like I just really need some guidance. And definitely spirit talks to me, but okay.
I mean, I feel like you and I need to have a private session for for one.
Yes, I do too. Okay.
For two, whatever
sure.
these things are, these things are that you've been putting on the back burner, it's time to bring them to the forefront.
Okay. I had a miracle. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, you go ahead. Miracles take precedence every time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. It was the most amazing, most beautiful thing in the whole world. One day, my mother, who has always been my dearest friend, but she didn't quite understand me too much, and if I would start to talk about something metaphysical, which I'm from Sedona, Arizona, and so if I would talk about something metaphysical, she would tell me, I'm just keeping it simple, okay? Just stick to Jesus and we're okay. And one day she woke up during the Lions Gateway, and she woke up completely. And
Whoa.
all of a sudden, yeah, it was amazing. It was beautiful. And
wow.
I feel so blessed, and I explained it I was so excited I had to post it. My mom woke up. My mom's awake. My mom woke up, because I don't really... Yeah, right, yes. I don't really have any like-minded friends, but I have 6 children, and my oldest he's 21, and I told him exactly what happened and how it happened, and he said, "Oh, Mom, that's a miracle. It's like a dream come true." He said, every person that I talk to, I am waiting for that to happen. And he goes, "You're so lucky." And I'm so lucky to have my son, like that. Yeah. I raised my kids walking my talk, and so I feel very blessed to have each one of them. But I never dreamed that I would experience an actual awakening with my own mother, and so. Anyways, I had to share that because it's amazing. It really is.
Matt Kahn shares a really awesome story about his own mother's awakening. If you guys can find that on YouTube, it's a pretty cool story. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, get back on track with your mission, because ultimately, even if you guys go like separate directions or seemingly separate directions, if both of you are feeling passionate about the path that you're on, and you're going after those things that are like you're aligned with your authenticity, then you both will start actually drawing to each other. It's really how that happens. So stay true to you and course correct. It's like if you don't course correct it in a gracious way, the universe is going to bring a tower moment to course correct for you.
Absolutely. And I felt it. I know. I didn't want to tell myself I told you so. I refrained from saying I told you so, but I know better than that to not pay attention to any divine directive that I receive, and the universe and Christ has never, let me down so far. So I did just, all of a sudden, I pulled back. I moved out of that relationship. I knew that if I didn't, it was going to be a tower moment. And I'm wondering if there's any way to tell that if I do genuinely care about everybody, but I genuinely care about this person and the relationship. But I feel like, and I asked him just straight up if he felt like he was here to distract me, like from from the opposing side. No, okay.
No. He's no distraction.
Okay.
And my definition of a false twin flame is somebody who's like abusive and awful to you. So he's definitely not that either.
Okay.
You're just going seemingly opposite directions right now, or different directions.
Right.
But
right.
Just trust that everything works out just the way that it should, in the timing that it should. And honestly, sometimes people just go separate directions for a while, then they end up divorcing those people and end up together down the road, like 10, 15 years.
Right. Right.
So resign yourself for this to be something that happens much further down the road.
Okay.
So
Can you tell me
you're not
if this... I don't mean to keep interrupting you. I apologize.
No.
Can you tell me if the second this new relationship, if it's something that I need, that it would do me best to just stay back and not shake the sugar tree, as what my dear friend was telling me I needed to do, to let him know, like, don't take me for granted, don't take advantage of my kindness, and should I continue to stay in that? Do you feel that it's a positive connection?
Hang on. Yeah, I mean, I think he could be a soulmate. Is it real easy and comfortable for the most part?
It is. It's he was married for 18 years and lost his wife a year ago. And I know it was very, very sad, and I only wanted to help ease that and help him, because I lost my husband a few years ago, and I just wanted to help around the house and stuff, and
you know what?
I just
hang on. Whoa. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, because when they tell me something, it's so important that I say it, because otherwise I'll forget it.
Yes, absolutely.
They just said go with him, and it's going to be very healing for both of you, and it's going to feel like you guys will be together for like a couple of years, and then it feels like your masculine is going to make a big shift and head your direction.
Wow.
So, but I got to go.
Okay,
I got to go.
Thank you so much, Amy.
But thank you, and definitely schedule like a private session with me, because it feels like there's just a lot that they want to say, and it's so much more complicated than this.
Yes, I've been feeling that I need to drive to you. I'm planning a trip to the store, actually.
Yay!
Thank
awesome.
you so much.
That's great. Try to schedule like an hour. Yeah, schedule like an hour with them. Make sure that you specify that you want an hour so they can block off the right amount of time, because I think you and I will definitely blow through an hour.
Oh, yes. We're both the Moldavite ladies.
Oh, so, yay. Right.
Yes. I wanted to tell you that I needed to let you know that what you're doing such a great job, and you are awe-inspiring, and you are changing lives by the heartbeat. And it is amazing. I can feel you spread everywhere, and you're great. And
thank you.
So you're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Have a beautiful night.
You too, hon. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Sorry about that, guys. If I go over an hour and a half or so, and I've already gone over 2 hours, the video and the audio starts getting really warpy and hard to edit. So that's why I have to cut you guys off when I do. Those of you on hold, I am so sorry I can't take your calls this week, but please call back next week, and call back like just a couple minutes or a few minutes just before 6 o'clock if you want to get in the queue early, because sometimes I get on early and just start giving a little talk beforehand. That's just a little hint or a clue that some of you can do, to get in before other people. So anyway, have a beautiful day or a beautiful night or great sleep. I know some of you I'm putting to sleep every night, so glad to be your sleep aid. And anyway, all right, we'll talk to you next week. I guess we'll be back to this next week. All right, have a good night. Bye.